Hey guys, how are you? This is my Tales of the Jedi review. I will be doing a entire series run of each episode breakdown, and I'll be doing that over the next coming days and the weekend and next week, and we'll have lots to say about Tales of the Jedi because this show was absolutely phenomenal. It was a 1000 out of 10 in my opinion, and I have a lot of things to say. So while this won't be a full breakdown video, this will be giving my initial thoughts after we did watch it on the watch party. It's currently 3:17 a.m. I just did the Andor episode 8 breakdown. We just finished the watch party for Tales, and then we just finished the watch party for episode 8 of Andor. If you want to know what I thought about Andor episode 8, you can go watch that video, but right now we're going to talk about Tales. First and foremost, I have to say a big shout out to the entire team that worked on Tales of the Jedi, and above all, Dave Filoni. Lucasfilm, Disney, this is my message to you. If you will ever do one thing in honor of George Lucas, it's to give Dave Filoni more creative control and to greenlight more of his projects, more of his animations. I believe anything that Dave Filoni does is not only a success to you guys, which means more money in your pockets, Disney, but also it means so much more to us, the fans. It not only is a good product, everything that he does, but it actually is so on point with what George would have created, in my opinion, that it doesn't feel like Disney ever bought Lucasfilm. It feels like Lucasfilm is still a private company, and it feels like George is still there. Now, we have heard that Dave will sometimes reach out to George regarding questions that he may have on characters and where to take them, and is wanting his overall thoughts, wanting the creator's overall thoughts on how to develop his characters, because they are all George Lucas's characters. Now, when it comes to this show, it was remarkable how a short 10-minute episode of varying 6 episodes, covering 2 different characters, and we could say more than 2 different characters because there were several characters throughout each episode. Some of them had Anakin, some of them had Rex, some of them had Qui-Gon when he was young, when he was older. Some of them one of them had even Obi-Wan for a little bit. Yaddle, Dooku, Palpatine. This show needs to be greenlit for a season 2. And if you agree, I would love it if you guys would comment below and let Disney know, let them see that, we do need a season 2. We also need a Tales of the Sith, which would cover a young Palpatine growing into himself, into Revenge of the Sith and beyond, perhaps a Anakin in between episode 1 and 2, perhaps a Darth Plagueis, perhaps a Darth Vader, Darth Maul origin. There are so many different things they could do with Tales of the Sith. They could even go into Darth Bane. They can go into Darth Revan. They can go further back in time. We can go to the Jedi Order on Tython. It's really endless. Go to Kylo Ren. There's so many different things that they could do with the Tales of the Sith that I think would be extremely popular and profitable. And I believe that Dave Filoni is the one to create this kind of a masterpiece and to keep the flow of Star Wars alive. Because before this show came out, I was like thinking, and there were over 4,000 people live in the chat, and so many of you were just in tears, and you were just telling everyone there how this is feeling like real Star Wars again. And there is something to that. Whether it is real Star Wars or not, that's a subjective term. But we have to focus on the fact that so many fans were so happy about this, and they felt it was the true essence of Star Wars. Now, to be all-inclusive, which I know Disney is, that's all they want, it's all they talk about and peddle, then I think being all-inclusive of all of your fans and the content that they want is going to be really conducive and really positive for you and the fans. Not to mention, it's probably the most popular thing you have on Disney Plus right now regarding Star Wars. Probably in the last while, I would say. I think it's a better product than Kenobi, than Boba Fett. It's sad to say, I mean, I love these characters. You guys know this. But this show was done so well. The music, the pacing, the lighting, the animation, top tier. I would feel like I'm giving it a low rating if I say it was a 10 out of 10. It was beyond that. It really moved me in so many different ways, and I think this is really the way forwards for Star Wars. I think animated, sure, we can have our live action shows, but I think animated, it just hits different, and it will always hit the same as the Clone Wars, as Clone Wars Season 7, as the Bad Batch, because we are so used to these characters, and because they are animated, they don't age. They're just timeless. So I think there's something that is so captivating about these animated shows that really bring out the child in everyone who grew up with the Clone Wars and watched them and enjoyed them. And I think that that's something that can be really mined. And I know Disney, you want to make money, you want to create good products, and we want good shows, we want good products. We are Star Wars fans, we want to see more of it. So please let this be a show of our appreciation of how much we love Tales of the Jedi and how great it was. And we want more. You know, I would literally pay a subscription service just for Tales of the Jedi, just for Tales of the Sith. And I think if they do this every year, give us longer episodes, perhaps give us more episodes, I can't see anything wrong with it. I think it'll just benefit everyone synergistically, and it'll be beautiful. So that's my thoughts on Star Wars going forwards and how great this show was and how much of a breath of fresh air it was. Now, about the show itself, oh man, it was amazing seeing young Dooku and young Qui-Gon Jinn and seeing his overall turn to the dark side and seeing why. Not just, oh, he's just evil now, but why. And they pulled on all of the things from the comics, from the books, old books, new books, why he grew disillusioned with the Jedi, and his spat with Mace Windu, and how rigid Mace Windu is. Phenomenal work, phenomenal storytelling. I loved it. Ahsoka's story was great. I loved seeing how she was Force sensitive just as a little baby, how her tribe knew that she was Force sensitive when she was brought back with the beast, with the tiger, and the fact that she had beast control, which is a power that Anakin had as well. She was able to talk to the beast and control it and let it know that she is its friend and to take her back to the village. I thought that was cool. Her fighting the sixth brother was absolutely badass. I thought he looked like the coolest Inquisitor we have ever seen, and her not using her lightsaber to defeat him was even more epic and truly, truly pays homage to Anakin Skywalker's training of her. Him having pushed her so hard during the training was, in my opinion, very moving. I teared up a bit because he had saved her. Unknowingly, he had saved her from Order 66, which he led. Those moves were the same moves that we saw in Clone Wars Season 7, where she saved herself and she jumped up through the roof into the vent. It was beautiful. I can't say it enough. It was really, really moving, really great. I wish we could just get more. And I hope that they listen to fans and say, hey, you know what? Maybe there is a market here. Maybe we can have a team that can just make some animated shows every 6 months or something like that, because we will eat it up. If you haven't seen already, I mean, you guys have owned Star Wars for how many years now? You guys should know that, you know, it's over 10 years that you've owned Star Wars. You bought it in 2012. I think you've done enough market research. I think you've done enough trial and error. You know kind of what works and what doesn't for you guys. And, you know, in the beginning, you really didn't have to go through that. You could have just listened to George. But, hey, that's whatever. So going forwards, you can at least read analytics, and I'm sure that you guys will see this show's a W. It's a big win, and people love it. I don't think there will be anyone that hates this show. It hit on so many different levels, and you know what was beautiful about it was that it covered so many moments and gaps of the prequel trilogy, and it did so in such a nice way. Like, for example, when Qui-Gon came in, he was walking with Yaddle, and it was right after, or sorry, when Dooku came in, and it was right after he had fought a Sith Lord, and he was talking to Joe Costa. He was like, "Well, what's going on? What's causing all the fuss?" "Yo, your Padawan, your former Padawan, has just fought what he claims to be a Sith Lord." And all the Jedi didn't even believe him. They're just like, whatever. And when he died, finally, Dooku was like, "You guys suck, man. You guys killed Qui-Gon." And he wanted to turn Qui-Gon. He wanted to have him as an ally. And it makes me wonder, would he have actually turned? Would he have actually joined? I don't know. That would be an interesting theory video. Anyways, I absolutely love Tales of the Jedi. I thought it was fantastic and phenomenal. This is my video about it. I will also be making a breakdown video for it as well, in each episode at a time. And I'll also be doing a review episode, because I don't think this was really a review. I think this is just like me pouring my heart out and being like, please give us more. This was amazing. Okay, love you guys. I'll see you in the next vid. Catch you later.